The Citizens Academy is an opportunity for normal citizens such as myself to gain a better understanding of what the day in the life of an officer looks like.
It's an 8-week course that you come in and you learn what the ATF does, how they operate.
Gain firsthand experience as to what it's really like to be out there. I attended Citizens Academy in 2016. It was actually the first Citizens Academy here in Houston. My experience in going through the academy was really positive. It was really great. It was a commitment to be there every week, yet every single time I left there, I felt like I'm glad I came. Had an opportunity to meet people that were like-minded from cross industries that otherwise I would not have had an opportunity to meet.
I had the privilege of being the special agent in charge of this field division at the time that the Citizens Academy started to be presented within the Houston Field Division, and that they've learned things that they weren't aware of, and they've learned things about the agency that they weren't aware of.
From the shooting range to the explosives range to spending time with the canine units and things of that nature, it really was pretty awesome experience.
And then there's also a portion of the academy that's hands-on. So you get to go out and actually shoot firearms if someone's never shot a gun. And one of the things that is new to most people that attend the academy is they go out to an explosives range and get to see an explosives demonstration. So they get to see actual live explosions, which is something, fortunately, that most people have not been exposed to.
I'm a bomb technician for ATF, and I provide technical support and assistance to special agents involved in explosive investigations. When they process a scene where a device actually exploded, that evidence gets to me. I spread that evidence out on the table, and it's my responsibility to determine or put the device back together so that we can generate leads so our investigators can go out and follow those leads and see whether or not those leads lead us back to the perpetrator of the crime. At Citizens Academy, we show them studies on different explosive investigations that we've done in the past. And on the range demo day, we come out and we show them a variety of explosive and low explosive demonstrations so they can kind of see the effects of explosives when they explode. It gives us a chance to tout ATF and also to give students an idea of the safety precautions that are associated with different types of explosive materials. So the demonstrations that we have this morning are C4 is a military high explosive, detonation velocity about 26,000 feet per second. And the other one is Kinestec, which is a binary. When you mix these two together and you add a blasting cap to them, this is a blasting cap, it provides the necessary heat, shot, and friction in order to cause those explosives to explode.
I have a canine. She's currently sniffing you up. She's an explosive detection canine. She's trained on a minute amount of odor, which is a shell casing from a fired gun. So we go out to different crime scenes where the detectives cannot locate these items. She's able to find them, and that's part of our NIBIN program, is we take that shell casing and we submit it to the lab. The lab's able to compare that to other shootings, and that's how we developed this protocol to get shooters off the streets. So I got Lady from a program called Puppies Behind Bars, and it's a program where prisoners actually raise these dogs. ATF then procures them. They're brought to the National Training Center in Front Royal, Virginia, where she's trained for a total of 16 weeks. Take her home, she's with me 24/7. Let's say someone was shot at in a field, and the casings from the gun are in this lot, and you'll see Lady sniffing after I give her a command. Once she finds it, you'll see her alerting, and she'll sit down and she will be fed at that point.
So what we're going to do today is we're going to go out to the NIBIN test fire room, and we're going to take a gun that was seized as evidence in a criminal case, and we're going to load one round into the weapon, and we're going to fire it into a bullet test fire receptacle, and what it is soundproof, and it's got all these other security mechanisms in it. And what happens is we're going to take that, once the round is fired, we're not interested in the bullet. What we're going to do is we're going to take the casing, the shell casing that would be left at the crime scene. And we're going to take that shell casing, we'll go into the actual laboratory. The lab technician will usually get 3 casings. They'll examine all 3, and they'll make a determination as to which one would yield the most evidence or which one has the most scientific value. They'll put it into this microscope and registration machine called the brass tracks. And what it is, it has a high-powered microscope, and what it does, it looks for different markings on the casings that are unique to that particular gun that fired that particular projectile and casing. And from that point, they'll make notations on the computer, on the file. It'll be uploaded and sent to the National Center over in Huntsville, Alabama. And once they do that, over time, that particular casing will be analyzed as new additional casings come into old cases that were submitted, from various locations across the country.
My position as the head firearms instructor is I coordinate all firearms training for all the agents and task force officers within the Houston Field Division. We basically try to show them the basic fundamentals of shooting. Anytime we have an academy, we have people that have shot a lot to people that have never shot at all. So we start out slow. Each student that's at the Citizens Police Academy has one instructor assigned to them while they're shooting. The students over the years have been nothing but fun. That's the best way to put it. Of course, my job is to make sure everybody's safe. That's the #1 priority. But past that, I make sure that everybody enjoys it and they leave the Citizen Police Academy with a positive experience about ATF as well as about shooting firearms. I've asked some agents to come out and demonstrate what the students would typically do. And I also asked one of my firearms instructors to come out and lead that for me today.
2, 2, and 1. Shooters ready. Scan. Recover.
Whenever we can, we try to send a journalist to partake in the academy so that we can have a good working relationship. Oftentimes, stories and ongoing cases that the ATF is working on, we end up covering those, and so it is healthy and helpful to have a good working relationship with the agency. But I felt like I was having an experience of what it would be like to be an agent, and I would come home every week and tell my husband all the interesting things I learned. So they would educate me here, and then I would go home and educate my family members on everything I learned because it was that interesting to me. And I got that experience because several agents came in to speak to us and really let their guard down and were humble and walked us through their days, and it was quite moving, actually.
So ATF is probably one of the most misunderstood law enforcement agencies. So what I would tell them is, come in with an open mind and learn what it is we do. And we know that from the experience and feedback that we get from students in the class. The one thing that we hear the most at the end is they're disappointed they don't have more time to see more of the kind of casework that we do and speak to more of our expert agents. And so we know we have the ability to educate them on what it is that we actually do and kind of get rid of some of the myths.